Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Lava. I'm the Community and Library Services Director here with the City of Huntington Beach. It's great to have you all online with us.
And I'm Ashley Wysocki, Deputy Director for the Community and Library Services Department, and we are really excited to kick off this process today.
Yes, and that process is the 5-year update of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, which back in 2016, we worked with the community and our stakeholders and RJM Design Group to develop a comprehensive guide to our parks development and programming with the intent of updating it and relooking at it 5 years from then. And here we are in 2021. That said, I'd like to introduce our partners over at RJM Design Group, and Zachary's here with us tonight.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's exciting to be back here, putting together the next update for the Park and Recreation Master Plan, and really to see how the community has developed and evolved from the previous master plan. So we're going to go through some of the background information tonight, and we're going to talk about the process on how we actually go through this update and continue to provide excellent services to the community of Huntington Beach through these master planning documents. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the purpose of what is the Park and Recreation Master Plan. It sets the framework for recreation development and programming services as we move forward into the future. It's essentially a roadmap or a guideline, set of rules and implementation tools that the city can use to develop parks and recreation. The key component here is it's based on community feedback. So as we collect information from the community, the more information we collect, the more it helps the city develop these documents and provide the excellence in parks and recreation services they do now. The process for developing the Park and Recreation Master Plan is broken out into 5 components. The first one is the inventory of existing resources. We'll look at what exists within the community right now, and then we'll analyze where facilities are and what facilities exist in terms of programs and recreation. The second component, the most important component, is an extensive community outreach process where we'll go out to you, the community, as we are tonight, and find your information, get your feedback on what parks and facility programs that you would like to see that are working, or ideas that you may have. And then we can take all that information and put it together into a needs analysis. And we look for the common threads through all the community outreach that we collected over the period of 2 or 3 months to make sure that we see those common threads and identify what the consensus elements are. After the needs analysis are complete, we'll develop a series of recommendations that will complete our master plan update and then tie those recommendations to funding and implementation elements that the city can use over the next 5, 10, and 15 years. The schedule that we've outlined for this Park and Recreation Master Plan update process will cover a period of 8 months to completion, where we end close to the end of the year here. We've already started the background information, looking at the existing conditions. And right now we're leading into the extensive community outreach process where we're coming to you to hear what your thoughts and your ideas are. The most important part of this process is actually collecting the information from you, the community. So what was once a 1 night a week meeting is now actually a 2 to 3 week period. We're coming to you with the commencement of our workshop number 1 tonight. And then we'll launch a survey. At the end of this presentation, you'll be able to take a survey online that will be live for 2 weeks. At the end of this 2-week period, we're going to take a week to compile all of the data, summarize your responses, and then we're going to come back to you live in a meeting where you can actually have a Q&A dialogue with us, and we'll share the information with you that we've collected online. Now, if you're watching this video and you were past the initial workshop period, you haven't missed out the opportunity to comment. On the website right now, there's a feedback button. You can click on that feedback button and share any thoughts that you would like with the design team. We look at that once a month, and then we go through the information with the city as we progress throughout the workshop process and the Park and Recreation Master Plan update. Sharing some of the background information that we've collected thus far shows that the city of Huntington Beach has a very diverse community makeup with almost 200,000 residents, where we see the majority of those residents, 42% of the population, are from the ages of 35 to 64. Also varying population ages from 20% under 19, 21% from 19 to 34, as well as our senior population, 65 and older, coming in at around 18%. Now, this information comes from the Department of Finance, as well as our ESRI 2020 data set. This is important because we want to look at how different people or generations recreate, whether it be active and passive recreation styles. This information will help us start navigating those recommendations that we develop based on your responses that we hear over the next several months. Other information that we collected thus far to date is looking at the past Park and Recreation Master Plan components, what has worked, what has been accomplished, and where we're going from there, and then looking at the general plan, making sure any recommendations we propose are consistent with existing planning documents and elements that have already been created. Finally, some of the zoning components, making sure that we understand the lay of the land, so to speak, and what areas are possible to continue recreation development in.
So since 2016, when the initial master plan was approved by City Council, we're happy to say we've accomplished a lot of the goals that were set in that guideline. Some of the highlights you see on your screen there, including the new senior center in Central Park, almost a 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility for our senior citizens here in Huntington Beach. Also a brand new all-inclusive playground on the sand at the city beach. 2 new parks in partnership with some developers. We're able to build completely new parks to add to our inventory. Some of our highlights are, we heard a lot about the need for additional space for youth sports. So at Murdy Park, we were able to add in a lighted practice field as well as some bocce ball courts. We're happy to say those have been extremely busy since opening over a year ago. And then Edison Park has been a big spotlight since that 2016 master plan, and still is. We're currently installing a temporary skate spot as we look to completely redesigning that park, again, with the help of the community in the next year or two.
Chris, some of the things, the questions that people might be asking include elements of, we have a Park and Recreation Master Plan. Why are we redoing this? It's only been 5 years. And one of the things that we've spoke about in previous meetings during that master plan development were updating plans every 5, 10, and 15 years, because honestly, recreation styles change, trends change. We just went through a global pandemic. A lot of things have changed over time. So what the city's doing right now is really updating the framework of the existing document, the structure that's already in place, and making sure that the city, these recommendations are still in line with the community, even after all of these changes, coming back and touching base with the community saying, hey, are these still accurate? Is there something else we should do in addition to what we've been looking at? Or should we change course? These minor course adjustments as we go through in the development of Parks and Recreation in Huntington Beach really help preserve those great community elements within the Parks and Recreation Department and the community as a whole. Now, the city of Huntington Beach has a tremendous amount of recreation facilities and opportunities for the entire community. Distributed throughout the entire community are 78 parks with more than 760 acres of parkland that's spread across 2 community centers, 5 community clubhouses, central library and 4 branches, a senior center, the former senior center, nature centers, art centers, museums, and public beach services center. With all these facilities, there are a number of opportunities where the community can recreate. A lot of these facilities are connected by an extensive trail system where people can move in and throughout the park system on various trails and trail components. Several of these facilities also support the programming that exists within the city of Huntington Beach and the regular programming events that are published in the programming guide. Now, programming has changed over the last several years, and we're going to look as we continue on what programming exists today, what programming has existed and has been done well, and what programming the community might be looking forward to in the future. Tonight marks the launch or the commencement of the public workshop number 1. As we mentioned before, there are several different components that we're going to be launching during the community outreach process. This is the most important process throughout the project, and it will include stakeholder interviews, 3 community workshops in this same virtual setting, as well as a statistically valid multimodal survey, project website and feedback comments that we receive regularly from you, as well as social media comments. So anytime you post, click, or send feedback information in, we want to make sure that we collect and hear as many voices as possible throughout this process, because the more community members that get involved, the stronger this document is. So please make sure that you share information with your friends and family throughout the community, so that way we can hear everybody's ideas on the future of Parks and Recreation here within Huntington Beach. Thank you very much.
And of course, after a year of having our doors closed, we are so excited to reopen them, and we will have paper surveys available for everybody to fill out as well. So as you're visiting all of our community centers and getting back out there and enjoying our programs and services, please make sure to leave your feedback in writing as well.
And thank you, Zach and RJM Design Group. So, our mission here in Community and Library Services is to enhance and enrich the lives of our residents and our visitors. And that's through our facilities, through our programs and services. And what an exciting time, and what better way to help facilitate enhancing that quality of life than from hearing from all of you in the community and our stakeholders. So as Zach mentioned, please spread the word, send this information to everyone that you can that will be impactful and really guiding us in the next 5, 10, 15 years so we can continue serving the city of Huntington Beach. Thank you.